Hang on, oh man, I'm following this guy, I should not say his name. Jared Faley, aka at FaleyJ1, Arcana TV, Julio Stomeyer, Love Jones, and of course Susan N. But none of this matters because the countdown has begun and we're gonna hop into the map intro. See you guys in just a sec. Alright, just at the end of the load screen here. Taking a small extra moment, but there we go, we're ready to go. Let's get these overlays up and set, swap the players around, and we are good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Copa America Season 2. This is the best of 3 in the qualifier number 2, currently underway. And spawning here in the 7th location on Merry-Go-Round, the Red Protoss player from Evil Genius is the North American representative, Huck. Not to say his opponent also isn't here from the North of Americas. I actually don't know where Kelazhur comes from, but he is from the clan Micro Gamers. I heard about these guys actually a little while ago in a bit of a show match they did. Spawning the top left corner of the map, the blue Terran Kelazhur. Did anyone play Warcraft 3, specifically Undead? I kind of feel like this is something the Acolytes would say, like, my life for Ner'zhul, Kelazhur. Or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going absolutely crazy at this point. Again, my brain was fried after that first game we cast today, and it's never going to recover. I could talk a lot about what Kelazhur could or couldn't do, but I think the bottom line is he's up against a brick wall. Huck is such a scary player. This guy competes in the Acer Team Story Cups. He goes to IEMs. For goodness sake, it's been a while since he gone, but he went to Korea to train. I mean, this guy's been dedicated to StarCraft2 for a long freaking time. And even finds the time to casually hang out on things like Wednesday Night Sprites and play the custom maps too. So, I mean, he's not just like some big stoic guy who's off in the corner just being a StarCraft dude. No, he's all over the place, which is pretty cool. And now, that being said, I've seen him take on some of the best Terran players. Micro Gamers has had some pretty talented players that did impress me the first time I seen them. Maybe I saw Kelazhur and forgot, or maybe I've just never seen him before. Maybe he's a recent addition to the team. I am told, though, that he is a Brazilian badass, and I think that's going to have to be his strengths here, because again, TVP is in a really fickle spot right now. Now, granted, right now, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are unaware, and in case this is like for VOD's sake, someone's watching this 2 years after the fact, I don't know. Today, as in like 5 hours ago, there was the announcement of the Hellion change for Terran players. What this change specifically was is Hellions can now become Hellbats without the transformation servo upgrade, but simply requiring the armory that Hellions would otherwise need. Now, this isn't going to affect the matchup, I don't think, too much. It's just the potential to making more. But Bio's still really the only way to go. Blizzard's been trying to make ways to make mech more viable PvT. There are some players who have actually been able to make it work, like Goody. But that's like 1 in hundreds of thousands of Terran players that have actually been able to make it work on a professional competitive level. So, for the most part, I would expect to see Kelazhur keep it to pretty standard stuff of what we're used to seeing. I can only imagine this is like manner out of Huck. I mean, one thing Huck, here's the thing about Huck, guys. I will tell him this much. If he's got one big con, it's that he does have an ego. And if he underestimates someone like Kelazhur, thinking that he can afford to proxy a Nexus through intimidation tactics, or if this is simply something he'll cancel, I don't know. But an overcharge is incredibly possible. And while this seems like a bit of a goof right now, this is a very legitimate strategy that, if you guys watch Polt's stream, actually, because Polt's been streaming like a beast lately, he did have someone try and do this to him. The problem with Terran is you don't have a lot of raw power DPS. Like, once you have Marauders out, once you have an excess of Marines, you can start killing buildings pretty darn quick. Meanwhile, the back home, by the way, the Reaper's still coming around for a bit of a scout. Will not get picked off. It's actually really nice that he keeps us alive for another scout later on. But, yeah, this is for a photon overcharge, guys. So the Mothership Core's got the energy for it. He's going to slap this down. And this took me a moment to realize that, like, this wasn't a Manor Nexus. This was just, like, another form of cheese out of Huck. And, This is going to be, I would say, almost impossible to stop. Here's why. These Marines are going to struggle to get to the bunker in time. SCVs are going to try to repair it, but the Mothership Core's DPS combined with the actual Nexus itself is going to kill so many SCVs. And this is hilarious to watch because it can be effective. Because you would think something this stupid would not work. But look what's happening. While the Mothership Core is killing the SCVs, the Nexus... Oh, it's actually a little bit... I think he's... Can you not control the overcharge? Can you not focus fire when it attacks? He had it rallied down an SCV over there. Doesn't matter. The Mothership Core's up. SCVs are trying to repair this. We got Marines pulled behind this. He's trying to kill the probe. He's trying to kill the pylons for coming in. We're going to have Warpin starting here in a moment's time. Yep, there we go. Stalkers on the way. This pylon is not going to get denied in the nick of time. So 3 Stalkers make it in, which means these Marines have no chance, no life. And, I mean, Kelazhur could have lifted and abandoned his base. It sounds silly to say. It's an option he had available to him. He was not prepared for this in the slightest. I think he thought this was a joke. But, unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm a little bit shocked that this works. Because even someone like Huck, I mean, I love Huck to death. He does a lot of really cool things involving gateway units. But this is a strategy that is cheesy, and you don't see Huck actually go for a lot of cheese. Granted, we've seen gateway all-ins out of him multiple times. Don't get me wrong. That's an all-in. That's not cheese. This is just straight up cheesy. GG, well played is called. Huck will take game number 1. WTF! Evil Genius is Huck. Well, there's really, truthfully, it's not because I'm dumbfounded. I'm more flabbergasted that that worked, and that he went for it, and that, we'll see what happens in game number 2. I mean, I highly doubt we're gonna see that again. There's not a lot of analysis for that, guys, quite frankly. But game number 2 looks like it'll be on Frost. And hopefully we'll get into that game here in a moment's time. I think one thing you guys should do, if you haven't, is definitely hashtag SC2 Copa America. And once again, go on Twitter with a WTF was that game. But yeah, a good first game, for sure. I like weird, guys. People hate me for it because I'm that guy that likes Swarmos. I'm that guy that likes the weird, stupid strategies, and I certainly loved what Huck just did. I think, am I hosting? Am I supposed to host? Hang on, I don't. Okay, well, the admin told me second map's Frost, so I'll just go ahead and try hosting this. Maybe invite people from there. Because if I was supposed to host this, that was a little unclear to me. Oh no, looks like someone else hosted. Ninja join? Is this the right lobby? Am I joining the wrong lobby? I'm in the right lobby. Okay, cool. Okay, so we're now in the lobby for Overgrowth. Wait. Oh, maybe she told me that for a different match. Let's close that off then. Or he or she. I actually don't know who the admins are. Oh, thank you for the update. On Twitter, we've got Ryan Lukes saying his opponent, Kelazhur, used to be on Core Gaming, and he joined Micro Gamers in March. Okay, that's pretty cool. Cool beans. Man, we're getting close to 900 viewers without a Team Liquid listing. This is really cool, guys. Thanks for sticking with us so far, but we're hopping into Overgrowth now. And we'll see you guys here in just a sec. Alright, welcome back. Sorry, we had a bit of a delayed intro there because I didn't set it up in time, but we are good to go. Score is currently 1-0 in this best of 3 for the Copa America qualifiers number 2. Spawning here in the bottom left corner of the map from Micro Gamers, it's the Blue Terran Kelazhur. So I just really like saying that name, like in that gruff guy looking for a fight voice, like, it's Kelazhur. Nice to meet you. His opponent in the top right from Evil Geniuses, it is the red Protoss player, Huck. So as predicted, we're probably, I gotta be honest, if Huck were to do this 2 games in a row, not only would that be like the ballsiest, weirdest thing I've ever seen, it's something that I don't think Kelazhur would necessarily fall for again. That's one of those once in a lifetime, like for a player like Kelazhur, I guarantee you the second that game finished, the first thing he said was never again. So, not going to fall prey to this again, I don't think. Not with game number 2. One of the big things you could do with that too, guys, that we almost saw happen but didn't, was if you want to stop that, if you can't kill the Nexus, I mean, he made some of the right moves. You get the bunker down, try to do what you can, but it's killing that mothership core. Don't let it get the overcharge. Don't let it get to your base. If you see a Nexus coming right away, you can also abandon your base at the same time. Like, I really truthfully could not tell you the best way objectively to deal with this. Like, if you've got 10 pull banelings coming your way and you've got hatchery first, I could tell you how to hold that. But a Nexus like that is such an unusually rare thing to see that I guarantee you that's probably the first time Kelazhur saw that as well. So not knowing how to react shouldn't be taking into too much of a factor here. But one of the big things is he does come across the map with the scout. I like the way Huck's positioning his buildings. Just the Cyber Core alone, this makes it so the Reapers are going to have a hard time getting behind the mineral lines. Oftentimes, as a Terran player, you know, you come with a Reaper, okay, let's say you're getting chased off, you'll duck around the mineral lines, so you can maybe pick off a probe or 2 if you're going to die. Not really an option afforded to you, simply based on the fact that you block out an exit point. This is a full wall off from Cyber Core to Nexus, so this Reaper cannot get over here once it comes across the map. But a Zealot was made first, and he's actually going to get the SCV. Good start here for Huck. The Reaper will actually be able to tangle with the Zealot for a little bit, but not before the Mothership Core and the Stalker out. So I don't think he'll be able to kill the Zealots. He's got to make sure he doesn't take hits from it either. But the idea is you want to weaken it so it's not going to come across the map and end your life. I'll probably use the high ground or the bush vision here, which would be cool. One sec. Sorry guys, like I said, allergies tonight are out of control, and I don't have an easy mute button, so I apologize. Anyways, the high vision from the bush is really cool. It's not high ground necessarily, but it gives you high ground vision to hide behind it. So the Reaper has to actually duck into the bush, basically in melee range of the Zealot in order to even shoot it. But this poke coming, this is such a dangerously annoying thing to deal with. The bunker coming down right now seems like an overreaction, but because you went for the faster reactor, it kind of isn't. It's a necessity instead. And the idea is right now, Huck wants to kill enough, and he wants to make sure there's not going to be 6 Marines available for the Oracle that's following this up. So this bunker, sadly, will not get to complete. And he's going to focus fire on top of the Zealot, but the Mothership Core is the real threat here. However, without 3 Marines, he can't deal with this. Zealot gets a little bit stuck in by the Stalker, scumbag Stalker, but with 4 Marines, the Mothership Core should be dealt with. It's not going to be any easier to deal with the Stalker. The bunker does load up, though. Ooh, this is actually really nice. I don't know how he managed to sneak that in there. I guess Huck was a little too focused on the Mothership Core, so backs off for the time being. But it's really critical at this point, guys. He needs Marines. He needs Marines. He needs Marines. The Stargate's finishing up, and if he doesn't have 6 of them, he's got absolutely no way to contend with the Oracle. The whole point of that sort of poke at a Huck, it's not to end the game. It's not to destroy Kelazhur's life. It's to make sure that he's not got what he needs to defend against the follow-up, which, again, is the Oracle. Now, producing 4 Marines at a time, he should absolutely have enough to deal with this. Granted, Oracle number 1 might not do a lot of damage, but he may end up investing in more than 1, and if he does, that's when it gets really problematic. Because, again, there's rare situations in StarCraft2 where you have to work around the idea of perfect numbers. One of those comes into TVP right now as an example. You need 6 Marines. 5 Marines perfectly microed can't even deal with an Oracle. It's just the raw damage it brings. Oh, this is gonna be awkward. I gotta turn my headphones off for a sec because they're bugging out. So you guys should still be able to hear the sound. I just won't be able to hear it myself. One sec while I fix this. Or try to fix that. There we go. So the Reaper's just running around for the moment. It's looking for a bit of scouting information. He's not gonna find anything too critical. Although, oh, he gets scouting information in the Oracle, but there's already one in his base. Where are those Marines? He's got enough of them. I don't know why he didn't have 6 in the mineral line. This was a very rookie mistake. That's gonna cost him quite a few SCVs. 5 have gone down. 6 have gone down. 7 have gone down. Huck on the way out with another one going down. So 11 workers killed in total. Let's not forget about the couple of CVs that were by the bunker earlier. He's got it. He's got it now. I think a little bit flustered after that first attack, unprepared for the round number 2 here, and poor Kelazhur taking a bit of damage. For those of you guys in chat right now who are brazen and bold enough to call this guy Gold League, you are wrong, my friends. I don't think anyone in this tournament is Gold League. You might feel like that, but you gotta remember, he's coming up against a player like Huck. He's gonna make anybody look like a Gold League player. Hell, Huck can make some Koreans look like Gold League players, so calm down, boys. Now, 2 Oracles are going to circle back here and get towards the main. There are a lot of Marines here. There's more than enough to actually deal with this, but they're going to take some damage. And Huck actually micros the Oracle back. Focus fire, though, for Kelazhur. Will allow him to get the other Oracle. Will almost get Oracle number 2. He has the DPS for it, but he didn't have the speed. 2 bunkers on the front line are going to help a lot against this attack, and Huck is getting ready to assault. With the pylon down, he can do a lot of warp-ins. He's only got about 4 gateways, though. And it's worth noting, warp tech's still not finished. Oh, sorry, 3 gateways. I thought that was the 4th one coming in. It's the Robo facility, so looking to move onwards and place down the 4th gateway, actually. Now, 4 gateways is by no means an all-in, and quite frankly, Kelazhur has done a great job at holding against the Oracles after that first one came out. Again, I really think that was just like the element of surprise that caught him off guard. But a Phoenix follow-up to this out of Huck is quite curious. My question kind of strikes how many he goes with. So at the moment, let's say Huck makes 3. Then this is just to pick off medevacs, just to harass a little bit, just to be a nuisance. If Huck makes more than 3, then he's going to be pairing these up with the Colossus, and Phoenix Colossus is one of the scariest late-game combinations a Terra player can deal with. It doesn't seem like it, because you're kind of like, what's a Phoenix going to do, fly over my Marines and die? And in some cases that does happen, but for the most part, Phoenixes can be really, really gosh darn effective in low numbers, but with Huck chronoing these out, I kind of feel like he's going to go for a little bit more than low numbers. But one of the biggest things, they're going to act kind of like Mutalisks, guys. They're here to make sure that drops don't go off, to make sure that no damage is done behind enemy lines, so to speak, and that, quite frankly, it'll keep Kelazhur from doing any real damage to Huck while he's just kind of banking up the Colossus count. Now, actually, I talk about the Colossus count eventually coming out. That might be incredibly delayed. He is, in fact, going for charge lots and armor upgrades. This, to me, smells like it's going to be Storms, a bit of an older school build. A reason this kind of fell to the wayside is twofold. One, EMPs became a lot easier to get. It was, what, like, it's so long ago now. It still feels like a new patch, but not too long ago, Ghost had it changed so they can basically spawn with enough energy to EMP. Great, fantastic. You don't have to invest in the Mobius Reactor, and it doesn't waste a lot of time. Second to that, Widowmines are buffed versus Protoss. Not only do they kill one Zealot outright, they do so much splash damage now to shields specifically, it's basically an EMP. And the reason a lot of this sort of fell off the wayside was because of how easy it was to produce a ton of Widowmines opposed to Ghosts. So, this Bioforce out of Kelazhur is nothing to be shy of. It's actually quite scary, but it's nothing that's going to end the game for Huck. His composition coming up behind this is way too strong. Armor upgrades, speed, everything's looking really good. He doesn't have that Storm available yet, but he doesn't really need it. There's going to be an Overcharge, there's going to be a couple Force Fields, Guardian Shield. He should be okay. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a warping on the other side of the map. Kelazhur sadly has all of his forces on Huck's half of the map, and he's not going to be able to go back home to defend against us. And quite frankly, Terran production is just not what it's needed to deal with this. Level 2 armor upgrades are completing in a second's time. With only level 1 weapon upgrades, he can't fight this. He's stuck on the other map, gets caught in a force field. He picks up, though. Really nice move there, but it's going to get picked off if he's not careful. Phoenixes are on top of the medevacs. The medevacs are now gone, and it's only Marines and Marauders. Granted, the Zealots might be able to kill this without any extra assistance, but there's still a lot of Marines and Marauders. Production has been compromised on the other side of the field. The SCVs were pulled off, and the ones that weren't have absolutely been picked off at this point. Vikings do spawn to deal with this, but the problem with having these Vikings out was he's really expecting Colossus. Not at all ready for the Zealots, not at all ready for the possible EMPs you need for the Storms following suit. There's no production of Widowmines, there's no Ghosts possibly coming out, and Huck is about to run rampant over this game. The production lines, everything in the main base still has not been cleaned up at this point, and a Viking actually loses to a Phoenix in a 1v1 fight, guys. Fun facts with Rifkin. So as we see the Viking going to go down, and it's only because of the attack speed of the Phoenix. You'll notice it only barely wins out, but as Force Fields block out that bunker, this game is looking so close to over. Kelazhur is losing the last few units he has available to him. It's one Viking, one Marauder. GG, well played. A Storm on top of the SCVs to seal the deal